Happy birthday, Salford Weekly.
I felt like you should sing that show today.
Oh, happy birthday. We should have a cake and a candle and blow it out. Oh, that's bright. What camera am I looking into?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bright. My eyes are so light sensitive.
Happy with that?
No, I didn't get any shots.
No, for sake. Ah! Play that to Cameron. Hi Cameron, you alright there?
Hello and welcome to Salford Weekly, your new weekly roundup show here on Quays TV.
Hi, I'm Matthew Green and I used to be one of the duo on Salford Weekly in series 1 last year.
So I'm Cameron Gordon, I'm the God Emperor of Quays TV. So when I was first approached by this very strange guy about Salford Weekly, I liked the idea, but I was very much concerned about the sheer level of complexity that was presented to us. And the idea was nice, but there were so many moving parts that are quite hard to get right in a production of what is frankly student TV and is a bit hard to navigate at times. But I felt that with the right suggestions, right pushing it in the right direction, we could get it to a stage that could make for a really strong program.
I remember when the idea came around for Salford Weekly, Joe messaged me going like, I have an idea, I need to tell you about this. So we went to like any other great idea, we went and had a pint and we discussed the idea. Now, Joe was very secretive about this idea, so he made me sign an NDA at the time, but that since got ripped up because otherwise my lawyers will be in touch.
Hello and welcome to Salford Weekly, your new weekly roundup show here on Quays TV. My name is Matthew Green.
And my name is Courtney Holder, and we'll be here with you for the next 20 minutes.
My name is Adam Clark and I'm the jack of all trades for Salford Weekly. Being quite interested in sport myself, it was something to get involved in, and that was sort of, it started with that, the sports package for a bit, covered as a producer for a couple of episodes last year, and it sort of progressed from there.
They are so good. They've got like carrot, peas,
This is
and
amazing.
like some really nice seasoning in them. Would recommend, 100%.
My name is Jessica Blackburn. For Salford Weekly, I usually PA, although to be fair, I fill a lot of roles. And for Quays in general, I'm the station manager. I've been there since the very beginning because Joe needed a PA, and because I PA'd all the time for Quays News, he was like, why don't you PA? And I said, yeah, sure, because I like doing it, so there you go.
Yep.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Playing server and mix. In cam 3.
Seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
And
4.
Q.
Hello and welcome to Salford Weekly, your new weekly roundup show here on Quays TV.
There definitely has been the development of a core team, so there's always the same people every week, which is good. But at the same time, there are different people that pop up every so often, and I think it's gotten to be very cohesive. Like, there's different teams now. Of course, you've got the sports team and the news team that all do different things. So it's become a lot more organised, and I think that's really good.
Hang on, is it real?
It's
real. It's real. So I feel that like the early stages of the show, they were very rough around the edges. They were rough in the middle as well. They were rubbish, really.
Oh no, we've had some technical issues with that. We're really sorry about that. So Matt is unfortunately
I'm still eating my
I was just talking about how good it was and saying, please save it. I don't want it to go.
Yeah, again, it's finding that swing. You know, we had the chemistry there. We just needed to be a bit more comfortable with each other, I feel. But that grew with time as well with our friendship. Because it could be anything from paper planes to even, I think, we did one blowing up balloons. It's one of the first ones. So, yeah, so I wasn't usually very good at them, as happened in the series finale where I copped out at the forfeit, but we'll come on to that in a bit.
Live from the University of Salford's Media City campus, it's Salford Weekly with your hosts Matthew Green and Courtney Holder.
And the winner of Matt vs Courtney is Courtney!
Uh-oh.
And that does unfortunately mean winner. What did I say, Matt? I'm a winner, baby.
Joe is and will remain one of the most eager people I've ever worked with. And you can take that as a compliment or an insult. I'll let you decide.
Do you prefer rectangular or diagonal?
I prefer him to bin if I'm honest.
He is willing to come up with ideas that are right on the limit of what is possible and indeed over it. And he wants perfection no matter what. And I got that impression from the beginning. I also think he lets it go too far.
Oh,
Did I tell you I've probably the worst gag reflexes that ever exist?
Well, we'll take the mic off
I mean,
as well.
I choke when I brush my teeth. So
Ready?
Oh! Wait, let me
no.
My word.
colours. It's like a rainbow.
Now I'm going to step aside, everyone. We can just let Matt have a nice little bite of that. Right, you don't have to swallow it.
We'll let you spit it out.
No. I honestly, I will actually vomit on TV.
Would you like the olive?
Matt thought was very confident that.
Would you like the olive?
I tell you what, I absolutely hate olives, okay? I hate olives, so I'm going to eat the olive.
What a cop out.
That is a face that he does hate olives.
No, okay. Oh, he's not
Courtney, do you want
happy.
a bite?
I'm alright,
I
thank
thought
you.
it looked
Do you
lovely.
have marshmallows going
Try it. Disgusting. Right. That. Yeah.
How's the olive?
You weren't enjoying that?
Sure you don't want to bite, Matt? You definitely
Was
need
it-
a bite. Oh, and he's using the sick bucket. He's
Not
copped
bad.
out.
Can we go to a VT of something? just play whatever's next.
Good evening and welcome to Salford Weekly. My name is Beth Whiteman.
And I'm Drew Ribbliard.
We are back from our summer break and ready for a whole new series of Salford Weekly. It feels like it was just yesterday when season 1 finished with that spectacular eating episode. I feel intimidated when you stood there. I'm Beth and I'm one of the presenters alongside Drew on Salford Weekly. I got involved, I obviously saw Courtney. Courtney's one of my best friends. Courtney did it last year and it just looked like such an amazing experience. And I've done a lot with radio in first year, but I'd actually never done any experience with TV. So I wanted to give it a chance, and Salford Weekly has definitely been the best way for me to get introduced into TV, because it's such a chilled environment, but I've obviously learned so much. That's it for this week's Salford Weekly. If you want to stay up to date or even get in contact with us, keep up with the conversation by searching Salford Weekly on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok.
So, being honest, I actually auditioned for this series of Salford Weekly, but there was a case of we had different presenters coming in, and kind of me as the anchor, as coming in as co-presenter, trying to find that new co-presenter. But we kind of tried different people out with each other. And I think there's a moment, and it's always a case, I think, in broadcasting, is that you have to realise I need to take a step back and think about what's best for the production and not for me. And I could see how Drew and Beth and Faith had good chemistry with each other, and I didn't want to deprive them of that opportunity, whereby I didn't want to feel like that kind of block in the kind of stream of things. So I kind of was like, you know what, I'm going to take a step back, maybe help out in the behind the scenes stuff every now and again, and just kind of let the show take its course, and let other people come on and make make their moments happen on screen as well.
So joining us today is George. Now, Valentine's Day is a little way off, so why do you think it's important this year round to be talking about dating trends?
I'm George Ike and I'm the head of news on Salford Weekly. So I started in September of this year. I watched the programme last year an awful lot and thought it was something I'd like to get involved with. And it sort of went from there really. I do the broadcast journalism degree here at the University of Salford, so it seemed like an obvious choice to get involved with the programme and help further their news on the show.
With 35% of the UK currently single according to the census, new research may have shone a light on why some of us are still looking for the one. It reveals that driving a noisy car or littering could be the biggest deal breaker as more people become eco-conscious.
Hey, I am Sophie Hodgetts and I'm the Quays TV tech intern, formerly a journalism student at the university. So I think I got involved on like the second episode of the last series. Had a bit of a life crisis in January and was like, I don't know what I want to do, like I'm nearly graduating and I thought the tech looked super interesting, so went along to the gallery, like learnt a few bits and bobs, became graphics gal, and then yeah, started doing it for Salford Weekly.
But as our priorities change in the dating world, we've been asking you just how important being environmentally friendly is and whether you'd consider changing your environmental habits, all for a date.
Joe is someone who doesn't like to let anything be an obstacle, so he will probably have a placard outside of Key House in a few weeks trying to get it commissioned for BBC Two or something like that, even on a national basis. So I would say this is not going to finish on Quays TV, it will end up somewhere else, even if he's bought his own Freeview channel. Could so see that happening.
I can't remember the first time I met Joe. I feel like it was just, he was like running down the corridor and Jack, my predecessor, was like, the guy that made Salford Weekly. I was like, okay. I obviously work a lot closer with Joe now than I did before. I keep using the word ambition and I hate it, but like I feel like that is the word that springs to mind. But he clearly cares a lot about Salford Weekly, which like I really respect someone caring that much about something and like wanting something to go that well. And I see that more now, obviously, as a member of staff in terms of like his requests and questions and like ideas and stuff.
My experience on the show has been honestly amazing so far. Like I said, I've learnt so much, made so many friends that me and Drew didn't even know each other before we started, and now I feel like we look like such good friends on the show, and we are such good friends, and we'll definitely keep in touch after. The first few episodes, I'd say maybe because I didn't know him, but other than that, I think now we're definitely close friends, and like after the show, we'll definitely see each other.
Do you think you kind of forced into kind of being friends with him?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you could tell the first few episodes, you've shoved like two strangers onto a couch together, and it's a small couch as well. Like especially when we have guests on, we're like shoulder to shoulder. And I didn't know him, and he's a lovely guy, don't get me wrong, but obviously the first few episodes we didn't know each other, so I think that's probably like that was the hardest bit to get like used to, was sharing a show and bouncing off each other with someone that you actually don't know.
Look, what have we got here? What do we think?
Okay, I'm assuming these, right, okay, so these are the same.
These
so
are
we have
more
to
there.
guess if they're branded or unbranded.
That's tricky.
So go on, take your first picks.
They look similar. Shall I eat one?
Yeah, what are you
Okay,
going for?
I'm going to go for this, what looks like a jelly baby. Whether it is or not an actual jelly baby, I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll try one as well. We'll go for this one first.
Oh, it's tough.
First of all, I'm really hard on myself and I didn't think I was going to get picked. So that I didn't think about that like originally, but I was worried because obviously I'm so close with all. Drew, I think, was the only one I didn't know, but all the others I'm so close with and they're some of my best friends, and I knew that if I got it, I would feel bad and feel like I'd taken that opportunity away from someone else. But they've all been really supportive and they all get involved in their own ways, which is really nice to see. You know, we've had Leonie on the show with us and George, and Holly's doing socials, so they're all included in some part. But I think like when I first got it, I remember saying to like some of my friends, I was like, I don't want to tell the others because I'm worried that like they won't be happy for me, but obviously they are. They're my best friends, so.
hopefully bigger and better is my hope for Salford Weekly over the next year, 2 years, 3 years. It's the first time we've had a show at Quays TV in a very long time that's lasted more than a semester, let alone a year.
I think the next step is, I think, bigger and better.
I think more and more people will get involved. I think there may be changes we do within the production, whether we keep certain segments, drop certain segments, swap different segments around to sort of make it the best show we can. And obviously it's quite rigid formula at the minute, but it is open and can be flexible.
Is there going to be a series 3?
We'll see. I make no promises.
What you call where it shows it all, even looking at first glance. Here's some tricks on a Thursday at 6 and it gives the students a chance. We're going out tonight, the feeling's alright, it's all just a breeze. Chatting the news like it's Sunday blues, we're live here on Quays, it's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. Beth and Drew and the presenters knew I've loved this Salford gig. Courtney and Matt, they got the sack, but they made Joe's wages big. We've had the quiz and all the beers, at least we say we've tried. We've got to go, at least you know, it's time to say goodbye. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly, na 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 na. It's Salford Weekly.